Hello everyone, hope you're having a good weekend, enjoying the sunshine I hope. My pink notebook's out, it's transfer rumour time. There's a few to get through today, and to be honest with you, never heard of half of them. Don't know how you pronounce those half, and I'm going to struggle a little bit, but I'm going to give it a bash. Why not? Keep you up to date with the latest West Ham transfer rumours. Any players I don't know though, links in description. So, Shane Duffy is the main one that's been going around the last few days. Since I've done the video pretty much, touched on Shane Duffy, it's sort of become the main headline the next day, so I was like, oh, a bit in touch but out of touch at the same time. 10 million though, that's a bigger price tag than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting though. In the last video, a Brighton fan commented saying 15 million you'll probably get for that, and I read it thinking, a bit pricey. Don't know if I would value him at 15 million, and 10 million still seems a bit expensive to me. But then when I think about it logically, there's no reason why he isn't worth 10 million, is there? He's very experienced, he's very reliable, works hard, throws himself in the way of anything, good in the air, had a really good partnership with Dunk. There's no real downfall to him. I think the only slight downfall is why he's not getting into Potter's side at the minute. That is just him on the ball. He's not a really good ball playing centre back, in my opinion anyway. I see him as Brighton's fourth, possibly even fifth choice centre back now, and I think that's why I was surprised at the vast valuation. Dunk's obviously there. I know he's been linked up with a move away, but I can't see anyone paying the big fee that they could command. Webster's Dunk's main partner. Dan Burns been playing left back, but he's naturally a centre back. I think he's ahead of Duffy in the pecking order for that area. Then they've got Ben White coming back from Leeds now, who's got a big future in the Premier League and at Brighton. Just signed Veltman. I think I can just look at Duffy. I see, well, you're probably going to want to get rid of him, so 10 million seems a lot. I just think he's almost like Brighton's James Collins in a way, but with less mistakes. Would I want to see him at West Ham? I mean, I'd like to see the player here. I think he's a good player. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. But for 10 million, I just think it's a bit a poor use of the money. Should the reports that we're skint be believed, which to be honest with you, I do believe, I think 10 million on a centre-back's a bit of a waste, to be honest with you, because is he going to get into the starting 11? I'm not sure. I'm not sure he does get in ahead of Diop. And can we then afford to spend 10 million for someone to sit on the bench? No. And if he does get in the starting 11, that means we've got Diop on the bench, who's cost us 20 and is worth 40 or something. So either scenario is not great and not a good use of resources, I don't think. Yes, the only other thing is if we sold Balbuena, we could get Duffy in. I think that is the only bit that makes sense. But saying that, I'm not sure we'd get 10 million for Balbuena. Would I like to see us take whatever fee we get and add to it to bring in Duffy? Not really, but I like Balbuena though. I do rate him, and I'm quite happy going into next season with them three as our centre backs. I think we just need to sort the full-backs beside them, and we would see better centre backs. Often Ogbonna and Diop have had to play centre back plus half a full back, covering for Fredericks and Creswell so much. So the Duffy thing, I do think it's true though, by the way, because David Moyes has commented, this is part of the reason I want to do the video, David Moyes has commented about how we've got a lot of attacking players, and then we need cover for the defensive area, and I thought, okay, now we're getting a little bit of an indication as to where he wants to strengthen. And then he spoke about how he wants to get younger players in, but he also commented that your centre-backs, usually they're a bit better and they're a bit more experienced. So all the signs do point to the Duffy rumour being genuine, and that's from our manager's own mouth. But I don't know, I'm just hoping it's a little bit of interest at the minute and we don't make our move as yet until we've got the fullback position sorted. Right, before we go any further, this video is sponsored by OneFootball app. This is where I get my transfer rumours as well as social media, but the big rumours come straight to your phone on notifications. It really is a fantastic app for the transfer window, so get it downloaded. The link's in the description. It's completely free, doesn't cost you a penny. If you don't like it, just delete it, get rid of it. It's a bit like taking a player on trial in pre-season for a few weeks. You get to have a little look at him, and if you like him, keep him. If you don't like him, away you go. Doesn't cost you a penny. Get it downloaded. Links in the description. Brilliant app. Right, now here we go. Here comes the pronunciations I'm not going to be very good at. The Barcelona right back, Monchu. Never heard of him, but he's the Barcelona B captain. Made his debut last night actually against Napoli in the Champions League, so he's one for the future, I think. We're being linked to him on loan. So I can see these loan deals. I can see why we're doing it. The problem is, I think, and this goes to the football fans as well, us as fans, when one deal works, you become a bit more, okay, can we do that again? So we're going to go the Soul check on loan with an obligation to buy. It's worked wonders. I don't blame anyone at West Ham United for thinking, can we go get someone on loan this season with an obligation to buy and hope it works out just as well? Just like I wouldn't blame them if they're also looking where Souček's from, if there's a player, and we'll get onto him in a second. So this deal, if you like, the Barcelona right back makes sense, but I can't tell you anything about the player. Never heard of him, don't know him. But I'll leave a link to his profile on Transfer Market below so you can see who I'm talking about, because I'm not going to be announcing these names right. And on to another right back I've never heard of. It's Porto's right back, Wilson Manafa. Again, don't know, I'm afraid. 26-year-old right back, can play right wing and left back. So the ticks a lot of boxes that he can play various positions, but can he play them well? I don't know. It's all very well, isn't it, saying someone can play all these positions, but, you know, doesn't really mean they're good at it. I'm trying to think of an example that's a bad example in a way. Struggling at the minute, but you know what I'm trying to say. Snodgrass can play centre midfield, can play right wing. He could probably put a shift in the left back. Doesn't mean he's good at all them positions. Lucas Maspat. Now this is one rumour I'm going to dismiss a little bit, just my own opinion. He plays for Souček's old club, 27-year-old right winger, scored quite a few goals, got a few assists racked up as well. So on paper he looks like he's a player who's decent. Again, never heard of him. But there was a rumour last week that we've sort of asked Souček for a couple of recommendations that we could bring in from his old team, or that league in particular, or the National League, because clearly, this is what I was saying earlier, it makes sense to an extent. You're also looking at Souček thinking, we've got a bargain here, this is a real value for money signing, so why would you not go look at his former club? Why would you not go look in the Czech League? Why would you not go look in the Czech Republican National League for someone similar in different positions? And this is, I think maybe they're sort of doing that. Could we sign him, Masapot? I don't think so. He's a right winger. It's the last position we need, and that's Jared Bowen's position. We've got other players that can play there. Antonio can play there. Snodgrass has played there quite often under David Moyes as well. I don't like seeing him there, but we'll get onto that in a different video. So when it comes to right wingers, I said I don't want to see us go. I'm quite content with centre backs. Right wing is the last position I want to see us go after, to be honest with you. That's the one I'm really confident that we've got strength and depth going into next season. The Declan Rice thing, though, now this story is just going to go on and on and on and on and on until either the window shuts or he leaves. It's one of the two. Until that happens, I think the rumours are going to be there. I'm not talking about the rumours as such, but good news for West Ham fans is Sarri got sacked as Juventus manager yesterday, replaced immediately by Pirlo. A bit of a gamble that, isn't it? Pirlo's manager. Then he got confirmed as the under-23 manager 10 days ago or something, less than 2 weeks. He was confirmed under-23s. Now he's been promoted to the first team manager. Feel a bit sorry for Sarri in a way. I know he won the league and stuff, but just the high standards of Juventus, isn't it? Obviously getting put out by Champions League by Lyon. It's not good enough for them. So Sarri being sacked is probably good news, because I think if anyone was going to go get Jorginho from Chelsea and therefore fund the move for Declan Rice from Chelsea, it was Juventus under Sarri. I'm not convinced they'll go for him under Pirlo. They might, given that Pirlo will obviously know Jorginho, being Italian. They've got not similar style of play, but Pirlo can appreciate somebody that can sit deep in midfield and spray the ball about. Can Jorginho do that? Not convinced, but I think it's good news all the same. But like I said, that story is just going to go on and on. I've seen articles today already suggesting that Chelsea are ready to make their move for 65 million and stuff. If it happens, it happens. We'll wait and see, won't we? Rico Henry and Robinson, two left backs from the Championship, are continued to be linked with us. There's a lot more rumours now building up that AC Milan are going back in for Robinson, though they approached Wigan in January to try and sign him and it didn't go through for whatever reason. Now obviously the 1.5 million release clause. This was always going to happen. Every club was going to line up for him. Anyone that needs a left back and is willing to take a gamble on him, 1.5 million puts you into that position where just go get the gamble. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's genuine interest in him. We're being linked with Rico Henry of Brentford as well. I just can't see it. Brentford can command big fees for the players. They have done in the past, and they will continue to do so. They're extremely well run. They don't need the money. There's obviously Watkins has got his £18 million release fee clause. I think Brentford will be sort of perhaps expecting him to leave for 18 million, and therefore you don't want to dismantle the rest of your squad too much. If you can accept losing one of your star players every summer and using that money to replace him and maybe try and get someone else in as well, I think they're maybe putting Watkins down as that player, and I think Henry, Da Silva, I think they'll be expected to remain at Brentford next season, but we shall wait and see. But the last rumour today is the more an interesting one. Is Conor Gallagher of Chelsea, 20 years old, attacking midfielder. He was on loan at Charlton initially in the Championship last season, and then got recalled and then got sent to Swansea. When he went to Swansea, he was fantastic. He's 5 assists in his first 8 games or something. Big part to play because Cooper is the Swansea manager, and Cooper was manager of England's under-17s when he had Conor Gallagher in there, so he knows the player very well, Cooper. And when he took him into Swansea, he hit the ground running in January. He's been a big part of them in the way they got into the playoffs and stuff. So kind of see him coming to West Ham though. The rumours are we're going to try to get him in on loan. Initially I would say no, but I think the boy's got a bit of talent about him. I have actually seen him Swansea quite a bit towards the latter end of the Championship season, and he looks a really good player. I think I say big things are expected of him. I don't think Chelsea are willing to sell him just yet, put it that way, and that would give you an indication that they're perhaps expecting him to make the step up into their first team eventually. We know Chelsea, the last couple of years, this season in particular, Chelsea have seen the benefits of loaning their players out more than I can remember in my lifetime, to be honest with you. Reece James, Tomori, while he's not played for Chelsea this season, he still had a really good spell at Derby the season before, and he's had these opportunities in the first team this season. Didn't take them, but he got given them. Obviously Mason Mount nominated for Young Player of the Season, benefited from that load spell at Derby as well. Tammy Abraham up front, while again he's not hit the ground running this season. He had a really good purple patch at the start and then got tailed off, and Giroud's been their main man since post-lockdown and stuff. But it worked. So and Reece James when he was at Wigan as well. So I can see why Chelsea are keen to get their youngsters out. And I think giving Conor Gallagher a run at a Premier League club would make sense. I think they'd be better off putting him to the Championship on loan for another season, where he does play week in, week out. He does become a key player whatever side he joins. Because will he be a key player at West Ham? I'm not so sure. I get wary of deals like this, to be honest with you, as a West Ham fan, because I think what's in it for us? We get let's just say he comes in, he's amazing, so we get this year of this really good kid, and then he goes away, and that kid's now worth double, triple when he arrived. So Chelsea benefit massively. They get the experience, his value's got up. If we want him, we've then got to pay big bucks to get him back, and if we don't want him, we've then probably got to go pay big money to replace him. So it's a risky strategy. I don't mind doing it for players who, like Souček, who have we knew what the price was going to be. It's going to be £13.5 million extra. We knew that. It's fine, but there wouldn't be such a deal with Conor Gallagher, and it makes me a bit risky. A good player. Would I see him at West Ham? Do I think it's genuine? Not really, truth be told. Don't really think there's much in this one. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've got a couple of ideas for videos later on this week. I haven't done much the last week because, to be honest with you, I've just been lazy. I can't even blame anything. I've just been a bit lazy. But I've got a couple of topics I want to talk about, including David Moyes. Players in their last year of their contract, but I've been leaving that one because I would sell one or two of them and it'll be perceived as negativity. And I don't want to be negative all the time, but it's just my honest opinion, to be honest. I don't think it's a bad thing. Selling your players at the right time is something I think West Ham are pretty rubbish at, to be honest with you. And I think if we were a bit better at it, I think this window we're in now would be a bit more straightforward. I just think we need to be a bit more ahead of the game, if you like. I just think the one thing we are poor at as a football club is selling players at the right time for the right money. It's something I always thought Wenger was really, really good at Arsenal. Ferguson at Manchester United, they knew when to sell their players. Normally it's because of an attitude problem, but there wasn't many players that they sold for big money that went on to go and do better things. Just something I think we're rubbish at. Anyway, drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're around here, and I'll catch you later on in the week maybe.